Surprise, 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 and good morning. Uh, I know you didn't expect to find me here today unless you were kind enough to hear us last night or watch us last night on our weekly broadcast of Rights Revue. Um, for those, this is unusual because one, we very rarely go on and do a show without some promotion. We rarely do it off hour instead of doing it on the hour like all of our other programs. But what we're trying to do is, again, the ant behind us with the megaphone signifies that it is a talk show, a call in show. And this one is called Rant, R-A-N-T Revue, which allows any of the watchers, listeners, to tell us what's on their mind with regard to topics. Even though we have a topic and we'll do so, we're asking that any of you who are out there, and that's what I'm trying to do is promote a call, a phone in call. And you can see our number on the screen, area code 504 383 3654. I want to hear from you, one, because two reasons. Well, not one. Reason number one is we have not successfully tested with the public our telephone number. I see someone's come on. Please give us a call, 504 383 3654. Tell us just hello or good morning. We've got to test our phone lines. Um, we want to make sure that anyone has the opportunity. Now, as you know, you can make comments, which we do get, on any of the social media platforms that you follow our programming. And we appreciate that and don't want that to stop. But we also want to give the opportunity for people to hear what our viewers, listeners have to say on their own mind or on topics that we'll discuss. Right now, we're going to be dedicating this program until it gets restarted on a regular basis to Mardi Gras, just like we were touching a little bit on that in the evening. By the way, we want to thank our gracious co-host, Derek Russ, who, as we said, co-hosts our Thursday evening program, Rights Revue, for allowing us to broadcast directly to his followers as well as our normal social media platforms. His followers have been very, very gracious in making comments and suggestions. However, we haven't had any have the opportunity to give us a call. So we would love to hear from anyone to just say hello, to give their anything they have on their mind. If they'd like to chime in, which we would love on Mardi Gras before I start babbling about it, we would love to hear that. Either whether it's what's your favorite parade? Let's ask that. Whether you, as we explored last night, whether you're going to Mardi Gras at all in person this year because of our underlying or overlying pandemic. Any details you want to tell us about a particular parade or questions you have? We have some announcements. A particular announcement we kind of leaked last night. We'll elaborate on that this morning. But meanwhile, folks, give us a call. Say hello. Good morning. 504 383 3654. Don't be afraid. If you don't want to use your real name on air, that's fine. Remember, you won't be shown. It'll strictly be a call line as if you were calling a radio show. As you know, some of our radio shows now actually do live streaming, so it's the same concept where you'll be heard but not seen. If you ever want to be seen, let us know in advance and we can arrange that. But the normal call line will be strictly a telephone line. So 504 383 3654. It's Bob Bockelman, the old man, coming to you off schedule, off time, to debut or re-debut this program that we tried last year and had numerous problems with regard to getting guests and callers on simultaneously. We really feel this has been resolved, tested it many times with outside sources, but never with the general public. So that's why we're anxious. one, to continue our Thursday nights if we can get some people to call in addition to comment, but also, more importantly, on this morning show to call. So please give us a call, someone, just to say hello. Just say hello, Bob. Wanted to test it out. Anything you want to say. And we'd be as long as it's, airable. Obviously, can't have any string of profanities or stuff like that. So at least show us you're interested and show us that you would be willing to lend your voice to the show, whether it's just this one time so we can test out the equipment, or whether or not the software more than equipment, or in the future as we move forward, because we would love to develop a relationship with you all. One of the kind followers of Derek, UC Phillips, was very, very kind last night, and I missed it with my bad eyes. And he had thrown out when he saw me struggling with trying to recall the name of one of the ladies' parades that was an offshoot of the big parade that had the scandal a few years ago. I know one because I'm very intimate friends with the founders and the originals of the group of Phoenix, which parades now with Sparta, which we talked a little bit last night. The other parade, I believe, he told us, is called Themis, Themis. And again, these are a number of ladies who left that same scandal-plagued organization, which had thousands of members, and X number of hundreds of those have now formed one or joined one of these two organizations, especially because they both have parades. And even if they're not their own individual parade, they've piggybacked to an existing parade, which gives them opportunity for their members to ride and get out there and meet the public. As we mentioned, the Themis Parade is part of the Ferret Crew, which our parades, I believe, I know it's Sunday daytime, the first Sunday, I believe, or this, once again, I've got a list someone, my friend Lynn has developed. Unfortunately, because of my old eyes, I have to get it enlarged for the font. So we'll go over details of that. If you want to, excuse me, sorry. If you want to clarify anything on that or on any parade or elaborate, please do. I want to tell you also, here's something we're planning on doing. Just like we live stream these shows, we've been wanting to do live remote streaming. We tried it for those who were kind enough to watch us for the Super Bowl, not Super Bowl, wow, Bob, you're really bad. The Sugar Bowl parade, which was in anticipation Sugar Bowl of New Year's Day, and the football game, including some of their members, their cheerleading squads, and other bands from around the nation. We had a little problem again with the audio, not hearing the bands fully, etc. So we perfected that, we feel, by using a new type of filming device. We're moving to a tablet instead of a cell phone. And we tested it out several times, and it seems to bring the sound, especially the background sound, into recognition instead of being so far down that you really can't hear it. So this is going to be a great opportunity for you all. If you don't go to the parades, especially because of the pandemic or whatever reason, you'll be able to see these parades. Now, I'm going to tell you, we've reached out this morning to a West Bank new parade, the Culinary Queens of New Orleans, I believe is the proper title. And we reached out to the captain to advise her that we will be live streaming. We asked for if she is interested to provide us with a list of the floats that she has, so we will be able to have better narration when I'm going to be in studio, but our friend Lynn, who does all the filming, will be on site watching the parade and filming the parade for us. I'll be giving you color commentary of the parade, and obviously, if we don't have to guess at the name of the title float, the titles of the floats, it'll be a lot more pleasant for everyone, a little more complete information. So that is a new parade. as we mentioned, one of the new crews, female crew. Nothing with regard to relationship of what these other two, which were former members of a larger crew. This is a great organization, and it's kind of close to my heart because for those who know me, know I started on TV way back in 2000 with a local restaurant show that went on for 15 years. We continue that on the internet and have expanded it, called it a little different for chefs not only in the United States but around the world. So we would love to parlay the live streaming of the parade into, and we've invited the captain to invite any of her members that are chefs, female chefs here in the city or the parish, Jefferson or Orleans, to appear on that program to focus our efforts on showcasing their food and letting you know where they are, how you can get in touch so that you could sample it as well. So it's this will be really a win-win, as they say, situation. One is we're streaming regardless. We just want the parade crew to know that we're doing that and would like a little assistance in giving us advanced information on the titles of the floats so we can give them accurately to you. So that is scheduled now for the Tuesday before Mardi Gras. And again, I should have put down, I can't read the date on the thing, but it's the only night that doesn't, well, it's only one of two nights that does not have a parade. So this is in between the first and second weekends. The Tuesday, not the Monday, will be the first time we've had in Orleans and Jefferson, a parade in many a year, if at all. So this will be great for the West Bankers to go out and, if they haven't seen anything the weekend before over here or on the West Bank, they can certainly go out and patronize this. By the way, there, as we also mentioned last night, for those who are not familiar, that these organizations, these newer organizations, and now it's spread to even the established organization crews, to create a signature throw, in addition to the tons of beads, doubloons, and customized other materials of all different shapes and sizes. They want to come up with something that reflects their organization. And what better idea for the culinary queens of New Orleans to do, but to do customized, or let's say accessorized, glamorized, the chef hat. Because we know you got to have the hat to be able to be distinguished from afar. So we're all anxious to see what one of those looks like. Who knows? Maybe the captain will also send us a picture of one so we can show you what the basic creation is before it's adorned, or see some of the ones that she might have already gotten adorned by some of her riding members. So it's something for you want to look at. Remember, this will be the first time this is done on this new parade. So you're going to be anxious to catch the premier signature float throw, and that'll be the chef's hat. So if you are familiar with any of the chefs that are riding and are their friends, let us know. We'd love to hear. Remember, our call-in number, 504-383-3654. You can, of course, say you can do anything with regard to sending us comments. If you still want to send us comments, we understand today's world is much more texting than actually talking, and we understand that. Us old folks have a little trouble with it, one, visually to read them, and two, because we're so used to gabbing for the right or the wrong of it. So again, this is Rant Revue, where you can air your, hopefully not too many grievances, but your ideas on topics that we discuss or something that you would like to have discussed. Even if we can't discuss it in total right now off the cuff, like we need to maybe get some more research or something, that we'll reschedule a date to do a complete detail on that. But anyway, please, I'm begging you, someone give us a call. Just 504-383-3654. And I'm sorry to be such a pest with this, but I usually don't. I just put the number up and wait. Today, the whole purpose of this, besides talking about Mardi Gras, is to encourage your participation and to see if we're totally satisfied with the call-in system. We really feel it will work, so don't be embarrassed that it's not going to work or it's going to change your voice sound or whatever. Again, you don't have to use your real name. Just call the number, tell us good morning, and as little as or as much as you want to say. This will test out, and even if we just get one call, folks, just one call with just a good morning, and my name is such and such, uh, it works, ha ha, or something like that. Anything else to let us know that it is working. All right, let's talk a little bit more about Mardi Gras, but again, I'm going to keep interrupting the conversation with the intercession for you to please give us a call. I really need to test this out, folks, so that way we can be confident in moving forward. So if you're interested and want to see the show on at least a weekly basis, now it won't be on Mardi Gras the entire year unless you want it to be. But during the Mardi Gras season, we're going to focus on that. So that way we have a common topic that we're all been waiting for, looking forward to, and whether we see it or not. We're giving you now the other. We mentioned that the Culinary Queens of New Orleans will be live streamed on the Tuesday evening before. We got a call here. Let's see, 1 second. Let's see if I can pick it up. Good morning. This is Bob speaking. Who do we have the pleasure?
Good morning, Bob. This is Mr. Phillips just calling in to support you guys on the air.
Thank you. I know you are really looking forward for your normal host of all of his Facebook and good charity work, Derek Russ. But he was kind enough to let us also because you were kind enough to last night, and I think before too, maybe some comments. And I apologize, as I said earlier, if you know when you tuned in, because I didn't see your comment where you were helpful enough to give us the name that I was struggling with of this other ladies organization. And again, I don't know if you've been watching it all, but we talked about it, and we certainly want to give more detail on it as we progress on the Thursday evening show, and if this show progresses. The key here is I'm so grateful that you have spearheaded not only in commenting but also now to make the call, because I know it works. You can hear me right on the phone.
Absolutely, everything is crystal clear.
Well, same thing here. We can hear you as well, and that is, you've made my day. You've made an old man's day. So thank you so much. Anything else you want to make? Could we ask you something personal? How long have you been following or known Derek?
I've known Derek for probably about
Okay, that long.
probably been close to, it's been about at least 10, 12 years.
Wow. Okay. And may I ask him, what did you meet in any of his charitable works or professional works, or just as a social friend?
Yeah, initially I met Mr. Russ professionally.
Ah,
And
okay.
from there on, we became very, very good friends.
Well, that's easy. That's easy for that to accomplish, because once someone's met the gentleman, I don't know anyone has felt badly or has not had that same taken away that same feeling. And when they see the amount and the extent of his charitable work, in addition to his professional work, I mean, he's almost the ultimate person, and totally dedicated to his family and his community, which is, right up my alley, because that's what my whole programs are trying to do, is support everyone in our community and beyond, and give them an opportunity to come on and show their talent on some of our other programs, or like what you're doing here this morning. Um, is there anything else you want to talk about on Mardi Gras? I mean, I'm willing to talk to you for quite some time. I don't want to take all your time up, because like I said, you've made my day. But is there anything else you want to talk about on Mardi Gras, or anything else? Any other topic you'd like to hear about?
No, I mean, I'm just looking forward to you guys' next show. I look forward to tuning in. Kind of in the middle of running a little bit, but I got on Facebook just to see what was going on, and to go ahead and support it.
Well, I really,
Y'all.
yeah. As you know, we this is well, you might not know, but as I said in the beginning, this is quite unusual. We don't usually just pop on without. We like to format our shows. We like to usually start them on the hour and in hour-long programs. and we usually give the promos at least a week in advance, twice during that week, so people will have an idea if they want to see it, what to see it as. But still, there's a lot of people who just, as you've done, uh, go on and just check things without even knowing what they're about or anything. So we are really feel blessed and grateful that you did do that, that followed your instincts. And even though Derek's not on, hopefully you're not totally disappointed with that. And we would hope that and we would hope that you and we would hope that if we keep the show going, that you would follow the day show as well as our evening show with Derek, because I think it could be it could be interesting. Hopefully that's what we want it to be, is interesting, and on topics that you, the community or the caller, is interested, instead of just what the host or co-host has in mind.
Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely. Well, my days are a little, sometimes my schedule doesn't permit me to get on in the days, but the evenings are a lot better for me. But anytime I can get on and you guys are on, I'll definitely be listening and watching.
well, and then the big key, of course, we're going to put one more charge to you. Tell as many people as you can about both shows, okay? And I know some that we really appreciate. Usually, thank you so much. And again, next week we'll probably touch more on the parade crew that you talked about. But call us any other time you see us on during the day and you have the time to either chit chat or amplify anything on Mardi Gras. And again, great thanks for being a follower and also uh, showing that our stuff works so that we can continue and move forward. Have a have a great week. Have a great weekend. Pleasure talking to you, sir.
Same here.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye.
All right, folks, wasn't that great? We proved that the software works. Calling, well, not really, well, it is, I guess, software. I'm old. I don't know the difference. But anyway, the important thing is that it works. You were able to hear Mr. Phillips loud and clear. He heard me. We're hoping that he'll call back next Thursday, since he's, like I say, a devotee of a good friend of Derek. Shows you how professional situations can actually lead to social engagement and friendship. So I'm hoping he'll do likewise next Thursday if he watches it in the evening and make the same call, because we want to test it one more way to make sure when we have a co-host or a guest, that if a caller comes in, all three can be heard: myself, the guest co-host, and of course the caller. So if you're still on, Mr. Phillips, please give us a call Thursday night and we'll chat. Okay, folks. I don't want to spend too much time. Again, we do have some followers, so we love seeing that. Some people even hearting us. Lovely. I mean, can't get better than a heart, huh? The blue thumb is all we usually expect, I hope, but the red heart, my goodness, thank you very much. As you know, this is Bob Bockelman. For those, if you are new, since we don't do much, we certainly don't do call-in shows in the morning. We don't do a lot of morning programming. New Orleans TV Internet Network is our system. We do live streaming. Our predominant format is 1 hour shows and guest dependent. What that means is all of our shows, other than this one, will have a guest who will appear for the entire hour, and he or she will talk about their passion or their topic. And of course, they usually supply us with visual presentations of such. So, like a chef will give us approximately 20 of their dishes, or an artist, 20 of their paintings, and we'll discuss each one in detail. And also, you have the option to buy. We don't, the whole thing is we don't promise anyone that it's a sales show, but long standing, we have had people buy different, especially art, off of the show. But again, we're promoting. So the chefs, if they have a restaurant or a catering firm, they will be giving exposure to that and giving you the chance to taste that. And again, all of our services are free. So we don't, oh, we know it's advertising. As you see, we have no advertising on this channel. Okay. So we don't take advertising revenue. We don't take any revenue from our guest or our co-host. It's our payback to the community. I've been doing this since, As I said, old person since 2000 when we were on local Cox Cable TV for 15 years and then moved it to the internet in a year later. We have 15 programs or 13 categories of programs. Art, as we mentioned about restaurants. And again, we deal with people around the globe, not when we were on the TV, we were only local New Orleans. Now we have people from around the globe. Uh, we have topics on authors, film, directors, actors. We're trying to, some of our shows haven't debuted yet. Like we've been trying to get a wine and spirits show, but we've had trouble getting someone to be an ongoing co host. We had a travel show, but again, that also needs a new co host. So there's always opportunity. Like I said, I can't even say real estate. We've had real estate shows. So if you know anyone that wants to promote their business for free. So in one respect, it's an infomercial. Okay, it's not a commercial or commercial. It's an infomercial because it's in depth. A lot of our watchers are the new young folk who really don't have large retention spans. Want you to do either a 15-minute show, a 5-minute show. Unfortunately, I believe in depth information. If we're going to, excuse my cold, if we're going to present someone to you or their organization, we do a nonprofit. So if you know anyone, we love Know Your Nonprofit. We've been doing that for 20 years to let people know the wonderful work of these organizations in the community. But you can't do a good job with just the 5 minutes, even though ITVs do it. They go to a restaurant and they have somebody cook a dish. Our whole idea is that if the chef is cooking a carnivore, a meat dish, and you've got, especially today, vegetarian pescatarians watching, they're not going to try his or her restaurant because they don't know what they can offer them. By us providing 20 dishes, it spans the gamut. So it can obviously find some favor, certain dishes, with a much broader audience. And because we're now entertaining chefs from around the world, even if you don't get a chance to go taste it, you can see what's going on around the USA and around the world. So we're broader in our scope, and therefore our audience is also broader. Folks, our number is 504-383-3654. If you care to be as courageous as our friend UC Phillips did this morning, please call us. Just tell us, hey, I don't know who the heck you are, but I called the number. Anything you want to tell us. Also, if you'd like to make comments, whatever format you're watching on, whether it's Facebook, YouTube, you can make comments and we will see it here on the screen. And I'll bring the comment either online or certainly read the comment to you. If it's a question and I can answer it, of course we'll do that because that is usually the purpose. But if you just want to say hi, hello, good morning on the comment, that's fine too. All of it is appreciated. But today we're really appreciating that telephone call or calls that we'll get because this signals that we'll be able to do more of these shows. There were two other, for those who go way back with us, we had a lovely young lady, Robin Denon, I'm going to give her name, and she's a psychic and a medium. And we used to do a weekly Wednesday evening show. She's in California, even though she's visited our city several times and we've met, called Talk to the Tarot, where she would read tarot cards for you for free. We would do 3 to 4 an hour, 15 minutes. Now she charges on if you go to her individually or in a group or actually online. You can develop a relationship, but she's going to obviously make charges for her service. So she was kindly donating the service. However, the calling was, as we said, not good when we would have the guest, her as co-host, and the caller. Think one person wouldn't be hearing the other. Now we've got that solved. So we're anxious to have Robin come back. Now she's also, not that she's new to it, but she hadn't done, she's actually a medium. Mediums are, anyway, stupid Bob. Medium, she actually can speak to your past relatives, friends, family, and convey what they want to say to you and answer if you have a question for them. That was fascinating. We had started exploring that the last few weeks when we had to shut it down because of the audio problems. She's fortunate enough to be traveling for 3 months right now in Italy, okay, and staying at a lovely place there. But she's promised that if everything worked well, like she's going to watch, she will return, hopefully return to us in early summer, or depending on how long I think she's coming back. Anyway, let's say early summer to be sure. We'll keep you on date on that because really we had and because we publicized it and scheduled it by appointment. In other words, people would make an appointment of the 15-minute segment in advance and then call in for the show, and then Robin would give them the information that they were looking for. So we had a really good following, and we had queues for weeks in advance of people who wanted to participate and certainly get either their tarot cards read and or speak to someone that's no longer with us. Mardi Gras, right around the corner. Of course, our big question and query to all of us, including ourselves, is will we be having it? And even though it looks, everybody wants to say yes, 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 but will we be attending in full fashion, meaning will we be out there with the masses or whatever segment of masses that we have? We'd love to hear from you to tell us what you're saying, if you're anti Mardi Gras because of the pandemic or in general. We don't mind hearing that. We don't like it because we would love you to be pro Mardi Gras. But or any particular parade, as we said a little earlier, depending on how long you've been with us, we are planning to live stream 2 parades. Okay, one of them is the new West Bank Jefferson Parish Culinary Queens of New Orleans, which will be on the Tuesday evening before Mardi Gras in the evening. I don't know the time, 6:37. I'll get all that information when we elaborate. The other will be gargantuan. If we're able to do this one, which we'll know Monday or Tuesday, that it's definite. We will be doing one of the largest parades and well-known parades of our new generation. That's called Endymion. Now, they say, well, Bob, there's a lot of people that live stream or the TV shows will cover that. The dilemma this year is because of the pandemic. As you know, our mayor and the powers to be have changed or shortened, for the most part, the routes of almost every parade. Okay, which means that a lot of the places like the newspaper, which is also online, always with live stream parades that passed on St. Charles Avenue in front of their studio. Another one at a local bar and tavern on St. Charles Avenue. The problem is a lot of these are not going to be able to will not be able to get Endymion because Endymion is not going uptown because its route has been changed. Endymion, for those who know, starts in Mid-City on Orleans and City Park Avenue. And if everything comes to pass, wonderful biblical term, we will be live streaming almost at the onset, as soon as it makes its entree to Orleans Avenue. So we could be the only exclusive live streaming, certainly at the beginning of the parade. When I say at the end, as you know, the TV station, I think Fox 8, and I could be wrong, covers the entry of the parade into the, I don't know, do they go to, the Superdome. So they will probably, but that's like 9 o'clock at night. Ours, the parade starts about 5:20, between 5:20, or 4 and 4:20. I get different conflicting information on that. So you will be able to see it early on. If you still want to go out, you may be able to get a place. I doubt it. But if you can't go out for whatever or don't want to go out, you can watch the whole parade and hear my ugly mug talk about each float and all the bands in between. So this is exciting. We don't want to publish it yet because we've got to get the last few details worked out this weekend and Monday. And our vantage point, and that's permission from our vantage point will be phenomenal with regard to we won't have people in front of us. We'll be elevated looking down, but not terribly down. Anyway, enough about that. But those are our 2 parades. So we would love to do others. But again, what happens is in order to get the best situation, rather than both of us, both the filmer, our friend Lynn, and myself, the narrator, it's better for me to be in studio and he to be out on the streets. So again, a lot of the parades he's in, and I would love to do it. I might try it on my own. And I've done that in the past, and we'll let you know that we will live stream maybe two of the parades that Lynn's in, and we will try again. Me having to hold the equipment, do all that stuff for an old fragile person is difficult, but I'm willing to try. If you're willing to watch, and you will be notified. Everyone that we do live stream, we will give you advance notification. So if you want to prepare, get your snacks ready, invite your friends or whatever, don't hesitate to do that. Parades, let's see. Uh, I'm gonna try and see what some of my favorite parades are. Well, of course, I'm a little partial to the parades that my friends in because, as we mentioned last night, the float builder and costume decorator uh, is responsible for these three parades. And not only the floats are great, but the costumes are superb. This gentleman does tremendous work with feathers, plumes, whatever it's called, and their headpieces of all, whether it's a maid, queen, king, phenomenal. That alone is worth watching, even if you don't like the floats. And he's been recognized year after year for doing this for these three, and he does for some others, but these three specifically, he does floats and the costumes. And I can only equate it to all the efforts that the Mardi Gras Indians do. If you've seen those complete, now they put feathers all the way down. These headpieces will go high in the air and come down to the waist or lower, so they're almost as extravagant, if not equally, as what you see with the Mardi Gras Indians. So please stay tuned, and if we can live stream it, I'd like to say we're going to the balls, but people don't want to be bothered with that at the ball. They all want to be enjoying themselves. So I can't promise anything with regard to the ball, but we'll try for some, if not, even if it's just me doing the day parades of the ones that we're featuring this gentleman and my friends, who you'll see hopefully, and the great costumes. So those three, which I won't name again, we always, of course, enjoy Rex. Rex is always the epitome. I know people don't like, oh, it's old fashioned. It is, but it's one of the few that maintain the classic look of Mardi Gras, and they're always refreshing not only the objects on the front, but the paper mache or whatever the materials they use nowadays. So they're all so bright, and usually, hopefully, especially if it's a sunny day, that they glisten. They really they're really superb. It's no matter these newer ones, of course, will be larger. They'll have all these gizmos and techno things, which are phenomenally trendy and fascinating. Nothing disregard. But to me, an O-line parade like Rex and the work that they do is just a tremendous delight. And what a fitting closure to Mardi Gras. Even though I know there's floats, truck parades after, but for true parades, it's certainly the day to enjoy. So if you don't see any other parade, that would be one, especially if the weather's nice. And there's a chance we might live stream that because we're fortunate in that it starts one block from our house. Now the problem is with the change of the route, we won't have it from the beginning. I'll have to have Len walk down, but after X number of floats, we'll be able to even live stream it. So that might be nice. I'll be sitting in my lawn chair and bring it to you. So that would be great too, especially if you can't get out. Again, folks, the number 504-383-3654. We would love you to call. We're not going to stay on too much longer. We're off hours, as we said, for those who have been kind enough and who stayed with us. We're off hour. We're usually on the hour with an hour broadcast. But our whole goal here today was to test out, which we were successful with UC Phillips, to show that we can hear you, the caller, and you can hear us. And of course, we'll be interested in what you have to say, even if it's just hello. Haven't seen any comments come in this morning, so that's unusual. But at the same time, we would want you to, if you do me a favor, if you even after the show, if you feel you want to see a day program like this, now it won't be a daily talk show because I don't have the stamina to do it every day, but once a week, and give me an idea of what time and what day. Whether it's Friday's a good day, or no, Friday's the worst day, Bob. And what time? I mean, we don't want to do it too early, nothing before like 8 o'clock. Most people usually say 9, 10 o'clock, but I'd like to do it before lunch period. And anyway, if you're kind enough to say you wanted to continue, please let us hear from you, whether it's by email, bob@allreview.com, or on any net.net, excuse me, or any of the platforms that I'm on, or on the commentary here. We'll pick it up after the show, and we'll be grateful for any comments you make. This will give us some direction of whether we should continue this show or not. And we're going to try it for several weeks to see if we can develop an audience, especially a calling audience. But I don't mind talking whether they call or not. But that's the key. This is a call-in show, and so we'd love to hear whether it's old timers like myself or new people who aren't afraid to use the phone. We would love to hear from you all. All right. Doesn't look like we're getting any more. Certainly no more callers, no comments. We want to thank you for jumping on with us, because I know it's a surprise thing, even though our young viewers are very accustomed to that. They don't have to have schedule. Old fogies like me like to know in advance when a show that they may be interested in is coming on. One thing good about ours is that it's always formatted for an hour, and it starts on the hour. When we start this program in sincerity next week, for one day, we will start it on the hour. So remember that. So don't say, well, Bob, same time, 9:47 or whatever. We will start it on the hour. And we're hoping we can start appealing by keeping Mardi Gras to an audience beyond New Orleans, so that way they can call in and ask questions, because we see in some of the Mardi Gras groups we belong to on Facebook, etc., where people are asking questions all from all around the world about, well, just like this parade of house floats. It's expanded to 1,100, I think, or 1,400 houses. Some of them all around the nation, all around the globe, are decorating their houses in what they conceive to be Mardi Gras. So what a tribute to our city and this wonderful organizations. So we will continue this for a while with regard to talking about Mardi Gras until actually the season's over, which March 1st is Mardi Gras Day. Okay, until such time, I'm the old man, Bob Bockelman. Thank you again for those loyal viewers today, and again to Mr. Phillips, who was so sweet to give us a call and test it out. You all have a great weekend. Be safe, even though it's harder and harder to say that nowadays. No matter what efforts we take, it looks like it's almost impossible to escape. As you know, I had it right after New Year's. So fortunately, I recovered relatively quickly. Take care. Thank you so much, and see you soon.